I've never been so excited and so nervous for a show before, but The Last of Us is back. Welcome to Bite Size Bunny. My name's Tony, and today we're going to be talking about The Last of Us Season 2, Episode 1. The Last of Us Part 2 is my favorite game of all time, and before The Last of Us 2, my previous favorite game was The Last of Us. This franchise holds such a special place in my heart. I love everything about these games, the story, the characters, the music, the gameplay, everything. They are the video games that made me want to write and talk about video games. So when Season 1 came out and was a near flawless adaptation of the video game, I immediately was stoked to see how they were going to adapt the second game, especially now that it's going to be done over multiple seasons. Now we've got Episode 1 of Season 2, and goddamn does it feel good to be back, and simultaneously, holy shit, I am going to be on the edge of my seat waiting to see how this all pans out. Right out the gate in this episode, they take the time to establish that they are going to be approaching the story a little differently this time. We immediately open up with being introduced to Abby and told who she is and what her mission is going to be. In this scene, she is played exceptionally by Kaitlyn Dever. When this casting choice was initially announced, I was thrilled because I had a feeling she was going to be perfect in this role, and I knew she had the acting chops to pull off Abby. And in such a short span of time, we immediately get to see her bring a level of intensity and emotion to the performance that's got me feeling like she is going to crush this. I'm gonna be fascinated to see how they structure Abby's story in this season. We get a little bit of her in the beginning and end of this episode to lay the groundworks for what's to come, which does give a certain level of dread to the viewing experience. Then we get to revisit Joel and Ellie 5 years after Joel wiped out the Fireflies, and they are not on good terms. I am loving how much of Joel we are getting so far. In this first episode, they take a lot of time to explore his psyche and how he's struggling with coming to terms with everything, which does add some extra depth to this character that I am totally here for. There's a great scene with Joel in this episode where he's talking to a therapist to try and get help navigating everything, and Pedro Pascal's performance is phenomenal. Bella Ramsey is back and kicking ass with their performance as Ellie. They really are the perfect casting choice for Ellie. They nail everything about the character, from the way Ellie talks to all of Ellie's mannerisms. Bella Ramsey is perfect in this role. We do get a few action sequences with Ellie in this first episode that do a really good job at laying the groundworks for some of the more intense moments that are coming down the road. And we got Dina! Way more of Dina than I was actually expecting to see in this first episode, but Isabella Merced is absolutely wonderful in this role so far. She's completely sold me on her portrayal of this character, and she brings so much heart and charm to the story. I also really loved her chemistry with Bella. The two play off of each other so well, and it is an absolute delight to watch. This first episode is great. It does a good job at bringing us back into this world and getting us reacquainted with these characters that we know and love, while also doing a really good job at setting up these new characters we'll get to learn about throughout the season. The changes they've made so far feel clever and intentional. I'm so intrigued to see how everything is going to play out. I'm also a little nervous though, and I'm only a little nervous because I do think the story in the second game is so beautifully crafted. It's one of my favorites, but I'm extremely confident in this team, and I know they're gonna knock it out of the park. With where this episode leaves us, it does feel like some shit's about to go down next week, and I'm so ready, but also simultaneously, I'm so unprepared. But hey, The Last of Us is back, and I couldn't be more thrilled. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like, subscribe, and all that YouTube stuff. And what are your thoughts on Episode 1? I'd love to know.